Mr. Downey again. This is the first assignment for World History 1, along with the Chapter 1 review. Just a brief explanation of these maps. We'll probably be doing at least 3 a month. And there'll be a handout or emailed to you in this fashion, and you'll print it. And not necessary to have a lot of color in your print if I email it to you. The main thing is to just be accurate in the labeling and use a sharp pencil, and maybe then go back over it with a pen. If you want to do the coloring of countries later in the course, or empires or something like that, that's obviously will help your grade. But if you're just accurate with your labeling of mountains and cities and so forth, whatever the map calls for, you'll be fine. Main thing is to be neat and accurate. And for example, on this Fertile Crescent map here, it's going to come like this, and this is self-explanatory on the labeling right here. Labeling means that you're going to, for a city, for example, right here, and Babylon and Jericho and Tyre, those are cities. Use a dot, for example, that would be a dot right there, and I would label this. Be kind of conscientious about how large your writing is going to be. And the main thing is to, when you're writing on a map, is try to stay away from vertical sentences and names, and try to be horizontal. In other words, like this. Horizontal across the map for a city. Sometimes you'll have to fit it in. For example, here's the Red Sea down here. If it's okay to do something like this and go a little bit over the borders on the map. Just make sure it's obvious, and using common sense and accuracy and neatness and writing, labeling. Try not to go down the shape of the sea. For example, here's the Persian Gulf over here. I don't know. Don't go down this fashion. Or for example, this Dead Sea right here. You wouldn't want to do something like this. Dead. That's just confusing. The best thing to do is if there's a lot of activity, a lot of things labeled in one smaller area, you can draw an arrow or just a line out away from the sea, or the river, in this case, like Jordan River. And it's good to just be in the habit of writing this out like that. That goes across the whole page, and you might want to. Well, you might have this slide. That's why you want to use a pencil to start off. Be able to erase it, and then you go back and say, okay, that's the Jordan River. Your map is going to be bigger than that, than the way it comes across on this screen. Let me get this bigger. It's more like this size, so you're not going to have any trouble. On part of this assignment does have something that says color the Fertile Crescent, and how you, let me backtrack a tiny bit. When I give you a map assignment, you can use any accurate source, your textbook or internet site, other books, or your brother or somebody like that, and that's fine. It's an assignment to label, but you try to be conscientious and pick up and learn what you're doing. And the other part to this would be that you would many times need to label and shade, and I'm going to pick just a color, just random color. And the Fertile Crescent, as it is in your textbook, is somewhat shaded, and you would probably do a little bit better job than this, but I'm just going to show you kind of how this might work on doing the Fertile Crescent. Something like this would be perfectly acceptable.